Hi guys, this is O-Level Chemistry, paper 11, November 2019, question 21. Which statement gives reasons why ammonium sulfate can be used as a fertilizer? Okay, ammonium sulfate is NH4 taken twice, SO4. Okay, it contains nitrogen, yes, and phosphorus, no, which are essential constituents of plant protein. So this statement is incorrect. It contains nitrogen to promote plant growth and is soluble in water. It does contain nitrogen and it is part of the NPK fertilizers, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which is essential for plant growth. And all ammonium salts are soluble in water. So this statement is correct. Next, it contains sulfate ions, which is true. Which changes the pH of soil? No. In order to change the pH of soil, H positive ions representing acids and OH negative ions representing bases must be present, which are not. Next, it contains sulfate ions, yes, and forms ammonia when lime is added to it. Okay, lime is basic in nature. Ammonium sulfate is acidic in nature. So if ammonium sulfate is present in soil and lime is added, the acid and base would react to liberate ammonia. The statement on its own is true, but this statement does not explain why ammonium sulfate is used as a fertilizer. So as an explanation, this statement is incorrect. So this makes option B the correct option for this question. Question 22. Sulfuric acid is manufactured using the contact process. The equations for the reaction in the process are shown. Reaction 1 is 2 moles of SO2 reacting with oxygen producing 2 moles of SO3, and the enthalpy change here is negative 198, meaning it is exothermic. And this is the step in which V2O5 is used as a catalyst. Reaction 2 has sulfur trioxide reacting with water producing sulfuric acid. Okay, which statements are correct? Reaction 1 is reversible. Yes, the reversible arrow shows that it is reversible. Reaction 1 is exothermic. Yes, the negative sign of the enthalpy change shows that it is exothermic. And in reaction 2, sulfur dioxide reacts with water to form sulfuric acid. The sulfur containing gas that is reacting here is SO3 and not SO2 as written in statement 3, making statement 3 incorrect. So statements 1 and 2 being correct makes option A the correct option for this question. Question 23. Three statements about elements carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur are shown. They are in groups next to each other in the periodic table. Yes, group 4 contains carbon, group 5 contains nitrogen, and group 6 contains sulfur. They are in groups next to each other. So statement 1 is correct. Statement 2, their neutron to proton ratios are all 2 to 1. Okay, so carbon has a nucleon number of 12 and a proton number of 6. Nitrogen has a nucleon number of 14 and a proton number of 7. And sulfur has a nucleon number of 32 and a proton number of 16. So carbon contains 6 protons, nitrogen contains 7 protons, and sulfur contains 16 protons. Now, proton to neutron, not nucleon ratio. So, neutrons in carbon would be 12 minus 6 is 6. In the neutron ratio in nitrogen would be 14 minus 7 is 7. And the neutron ratio in sulfur would be 32 minus 16 is 16. So, all of these ratios are 1 is to 1, not 2 is to 1. So, this statement is incorrect. 3. They each form an acidic oxide. Yes, carbon forms CO2, nitrogen forms NO2, and sulfur forms SO2. All three of these gases are acidic. So this statement is correct. Since statements 1 and 3 are correct, option C is the correct option for this question. Question 24. What is a property of halogens? Their atoms decrease in size down the group? No. the atomic radius increases down the group, so the size of the atoms increases down the group. Next, their melting point increases down the group. Yes, the states are also going from gas to liquid to solid. So this is correct. They conduct electricity when molten. They are covalent compounds. They do not. Their silver salts are all soluble in water. None of their silver salts are soluble in water. Silver chloride, silver bromide, silver iodide are all insoluble in water. So this makes option B the correct option for this question. Question 25. Part of the periodic table shows the positions of four elements. These are not the element's actual symbols. Which element has a high melting point and variable oxidation state? Okay, metals have a high melting point, but transition metals have a variable oxidation state. And transition elements are found in the D block of the periodic table, which means the correct option for this question is option C. Question 26. Brass is made of copper and zinc. It has many uses. Brass is dash of these two elements. It is an alloy. Brass is used in electrical plugs because it is an electrical, it is a metal, so it is an electrical conductor. Which words correctly complete gaps 1 and 2? In gap 1, we need alloy, which is present in options A and B. And in gap 2, we need conductor, which is present in option A, making A the correct option for this question. Question 27. Metal carbonates decompose when heated. Which carbonate is most stable to heat? Calcium carbonate, copper carbonate, lead carbonate, and zinc carbonate. Okay, so all of these are metals, but found in different regions of the periodic table. So, in order for a metal carbonate to be stable, its cation must be the one with the smallest ionic radius. So, calcium is present in period 4 just before the D block starts. Copper is present in that same D block series. So, copper would have a larger radius than calcium. Lead is present in group 4, but in the period after period 4, so that makes the ionic radius larger. And zinc is present in the same D block series as copper, but it is the last element in the D block series, so its radius is also larger. So the one with the smallest radius here is calcium, making calcium carbonate in option A the correct option for this question. Question 28. Tin is a metal between iron and lead in the reactivity series. Okay. Which method is used for the extraction of tin from its ores? So since it is less reactive than iron, it can be heated with coke or carbon to extract it, and carbon is converted to carbon dioxide. So electrolysis of molten ore, it is supposed to be more reactive than iron. It is not. Heating it alone, this will not extract it. Heating with aluminum powder, this will not extract it. Heating with carbon, yes, because the ore for tin would be SnO2, tin oxide. When you heat it with carbon, this will produce tin metal and liberate carbon dioxide gas, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 29. Aluminum is extracted from aluminum oxide by electrolysis. Which statement about this electrolysis is correct? Aluminum ions gain electrons to form aluminum. Yes, aluminum ions have a charge of 3 positive. They will gain 3 moles of electrons producing aluminum metal. So they are gaining electrons to form aluminum. Cryolite increases the melting point of the electrolyte. No, cryolite is used to decrease the melting point of bauxite or Al2O3. That is why bauxite is dissolved in cryolite. Cryolite reacts with impurities to form slag. No, it is used to dissolve bauxite, the ore for aluminum. The carbon cathode has to be replaced regularly as it reacts with oxygen. No, the carbon anode, because anode is made of carbon and oxygen is produced at the anode at the high temperatures used. The oxygen reacts with the carbon brushes of the anode and burns them away as CO2. So anodes will have to be replaced at regular intervals. So this makes option A the correct option for this question. Question 30. Methane and sulfur dioxide are two air pollutants found in the Earth's atmosphere. Which row correctly identifies one source of each gas? Methane. Decaying plants? Yes. Lighting activity? No. So options C and D have been eliminated. A and B remain. One source for sulfur dioxide. Photochemical reactions? No. Sulfur dioxide is not obtained from photochemical reactions. Volcanoes? Yes. It is the least common source, but volcano activity releases sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. The most common source being exhaust fumes of cars and power station emissions. So this makes option B the correct option for this question.